Tony T from Tony'sPicks.com with our college football pick show here. This will be week 5, part 2. We'll have 15 games from Saturday. That'll total now 35 for the Saturday card. And if you're looking for my best bets, my pre and plays, click the link in the description. That'll take me over to my sales page over at Tony'sPicks.com. Also, if you like more free pick videos, be sure to subscribe to our channel. And if you appreciate our work here, like this video with that thumbs up. We greatly appreciate it. All right, let's get this one started. Colorado and UCF college football pick. This one here on Saturday. Colorado improved to 3-1 after their 38-31 home overtime win to Baylor. The Buffaloes gained 432 yards, 91 rushing for under 3 yards a carry. On defense, they allowed 314 yards to the Bears with 148 passing on 21 attempts. Shedeur Sanders, 25 of 41 passing for 341 yards and 2 touchdowns. UCF 3-0, a 35-34 road win at TCU. Knights put up 519 yards, 289 rushing for 5.5 yards a carry. Defensively, they allowed 460 yards to the Horned Frogs with 402 passing yards on 53 attempts. KJ Jefferson, 13 of 22 passing for 230 yards and 3 touchdowns. He rushed for 46 yards in the game. We saw Colorado struggle on the road here against Nebraska. They were held at 10 points. UCF holding teams at 2.6 yards per run, only 6.8 yards per pass attempt. Buffs on the road averaging only 3 yards a carry, 6.2 yards per pass attempt. They have been respectable defensively on the road, giving up 4.2 yards a carry, just 5.7 yards per pass attempt. Play Colorado and UCF under 64.5. Western Michigan and Marshall college football pick Saturday. Western Michigan sits at 1-2 after a 59-31 home win to FCS Bethune-Cookman. The Broncos the week prior lost at home to Ohio State here 56-zip. In that one, they gained only 99 yards with 28 rushing on 31 carries. Defensively, they allowed 683 yards to the Buckeyes with 410 passing yards on 33 attempts. Hayden Wolf, 8 of 15 passing for 71 yards. Marshall fell to 1-2, a 49-14 road defeat at Ohio State. Thundering Herd put up 264 yards, 125 rushing for 2.9 yards a carry. Defensively, they gave up 516 yards to the Buckeyes with 280 rushing yards for 9 yards a carry. Stone Earl, 16 of 21 passing for 132 yards and a touchdown. Western Michigan is struggling defensively as they allow 4.7 yards a carry, 67% completion rate, and 8.5 yards per pass attempt. Marshall has run the football effectively, 5.3 yards a carry. Western Michigan just gave 31 points at home to an FCS school. The Broncos 2-5 to the spread on the road in their past 7 non-conference games. Play Marshall -3. TCU and Kansas college football pick. This one goes off on Saturday. TCU 2-2 after their 66-42 road defeat at SMU. The Horned Frogs gained 480 yards, 65 rushing for only 2 yards a carry. On defense, they allowed 375 yards to the Horned Frogs with 238 rushing for 5.7 yards a carry. Josh Hoover, 28 of 43 passing for 396 yards with 3 touchdowns and 2 picks. Kansas fell to 1-3, a 32-28 road defeat at West Virginia. The Jayhawks put up 531 yards, 247 rushing for 5.3 yards a carry. On defense, they surrendered 443 yards to the Mountaineers with 295 passing on 30 attempts. Jalen Daniels, 15 of 25 passing for 184 yards with a touchdown and pick. Horned Frogs defense allowing 217 yards rushing for 4.9 yards a carry. Their ground game struggling with 3 yards per carry average. The Jayhawks ground attack produces 5.5 yards per carry. They are getting good defensive performance by allowing 3.7 yards per run and only 52% completion rate. Back-to-back road games for the Horned Frogs here where they allow an average of 46 points a game. Play in this one will be on Kansas -2. Oklahoma and Auburn college football pick. This one here Saturday. Oklahoma fell to 3-1 after their 25-15 home defeat to Tennessee. The Sooners gained only 224 yards, 36 rushing on 34 attempts. On defense, they gave up 345 yards to the Volunteers with 194 passing yards on 21 attempts. Freshman Michael Hawkins, the starter quarterback for the ineffective Jackson Arnold on Saturday. Hawkins saw action last week, hitting 14 of 23 passes for 152 yards and a touchdown. Auburn drops to 2-2 after their 24-14 home defeat to Arkansas. The Tigers put up 431 yards, 146 rushing for 5.6 yards a carry. On defense, they allowed 334 yards to the Razorbacks with 183 rushing for 3.3 yards a carry. Hank Brown in the game, 7 of 13 passing for 72 yards and 3 interceptions. Freshman quarterback in a tough environment here for the Sooners. Oklahoma offense has struggled, only 3.6 yards a carry on the ground, 5.5 yards per pass attempt. They're allowing here 7.1 yards per pass attempt on defense. Auburn's offense rushes for 6.2 yards a carry. They are throwing for 284 yards per game, 9.8 yards per pass attempt, but most of these numbers came against weak opponents. First road game for Oklahoma, play Auburn +2. Fresno State versus UNLV college football pick Saturday. Fresno State improved to 3-1 after their 38-21 win at New Mexico. The Bulldogs in the game gained 345 yards, 93 rushing for under 3 yards a carry. On defense, they allowed 485 yards to the Lobos with 338 passing yards on 53 attempts. Mikey Keene, 26 of 33 passing for 226 yards and a touchdown. UNLV 3-0 after their 23-20 road win at Kansas. Rebels posted 267 yards, 181 rushing for 3.9 yards a carry. On defense, they allowed 352 yards to the Jayhawks, 199 rushing for 5.7 yards a carry. Haj Malik Williams expected to start. Matthew Suka redshirts here. Williams is a transfer from Campbell who rushed for 88 yards on 10 carries this year, by the way. He is a mobile quarterback based on his starts we saw in Campbell. Suka was an ineffective passer for UNLV, winning despite of his poor performance passing the football. Williams was accurate at his FCS school. Fresno State is not getting much production on the ground, 3.8 yards a carry. That win in Kansas was impressive for the Rebels' defense. The UNLV defense has performed well, holding teams to 4.2 yards per run, 5.8 yards per pass attempt. Play UNLV -1.5. Arkansas and Texas A&M college football pick Saturday. Game played neutral field AT&T Stadium, home of the Dallas Cowboys. Arkansas improved to 3-1, a 24-14 road win at Auburn. Razorbacks gained 334 yards, 183 rushing for 3.3 yards a carry. On defense, they allowed 431 yards to the Tigers, 285 passing on 35 attempts. Taylor Green here, 12 of 27 passing for 151 yards with a touchdown and 2 picks. Texas A&M 3-1, a 26-20 home win here to Bowling Green. The Aggies posted 408 yards, 235 rushing for 5.5 yards a carry. On defense, they held the Falcons to 339 yards, 250 passing on 37 attempts. Connor Wegman has missed the past 2 games with a shoulder injury. He is a game-time decision here. Marcel Green went 16-29 for 173 yards with 2 touchdowns. Aggies have run the football effectively, 256 yards per game, 6 yards a carry. They defend well, holding opponents to 4.3 yards a carry, 6.5 yards per pass attempt. Razorbacks give up 242 yards passing per game, 7 yards per pass attempt. Aggies 4-1 to the spread when they're favored here at between 3.5 and 10 points. Play Texas A&M here at -4. Louisville and Notre Dame college football pick Saturday. All right, Louisville now 3-0, a 31-19 home win to Georgia Tech. Cardinals put up 326 yards, 57 rushing for 2 yards a carry. On defense, they allowed 410 yards to the Yellow Jackets, 312 passing on 32 attempts. Tyler Shaw, 13 of 19 passing for 269 yards and 2 touchdowns. Notre Dame 3-1 after a 28-3 home win to Miami O. Fighting Irish put up 428 yards, 270 rushing for 7.5 yards a carry. On defense, they held the Redhawks to 229 yards, 119 passing on 36 attempts. Riley Leonard hit 16 of 25 passing for 154 yards with a touchdown. Notre Dame run offense impressive as they are averaging 6.8 yards a carry. Their defense has been outstanding here, allowing 3.6 yards a carry, 43% completion rate, 4.9 yards per pass attempt. Louisville has piled up stats against Austin Peay and Jacksonville State in 2 of their 3 games. Cardinals' run offense and pass defense against the Yellow Jackets concerning here, playing Notre Dame minus 6.5. Wisconsin and USC college football pick Saturday. Wisconsin fell to 2-1, a 42-10 home defeat to Alabama. Badgers put up 290 yards, 149 rushing for 3.6 yards a carry. On defense, they allowed 407 yards to that Crimson Tide, 226 passing on 22 attempts. Brandon Locke, 13 of 26 passing for 125 yards with a touchdown. He was the backup inserted as starter. Tyler Van Dyke is injured. USC fell to 2-1 after their 27-24 road defeat at Michigan. The Trojans gained 379 yards, 96 rushing for under 5 yards a carry. On defense, they allowed 322 yards to the Wolverines with 290 rushing, 6.3 yards a carry. Miller Moss, 28 of 51 passing for 283 yards with 3 touchdowns and a pick. Tough spot for Wisconsin behind a backup starter at quarterback. Wisconsin's rush game just not strong enough to exploit this USC defense. They're averaging just 4 yards a carry on the ground, and they're only passing for 5.8 yards per pass attempt. On defense, the Badgers giving up 4.5 yards carry on the ground, 7.5 yards per pass attempt. USC's run the football effectively, nearly 5.5 yards a carry, throwing for 319 and averaging 7.5 yards per pass attempt. The Trojans have defended the pass well. Trojans 5 over the spread in their past 5 home September games, play USC minus 15.5. UTSA and East Carolina college football pick Saturday. UTSA improved to 2-2, a 45-7 home victory to FCS Houston Christian. Now, 2 weeks ago, it was a 56-7 defeat at Texas. The Roadrunners gained 260 yards, 130 rushing for 3.3 yards a carry. On defense, they surrendered 614 yards to Longhorns, 427 passing on 32 attempts. Owen McCown, 21 of 29 passing for 132 yards. He was effective against his FCS opponent last week. East Carolina fell to 2-2, a 35-24 road defeat at Liberty. The Pirates put up 331 yards, 127 rushing for 4 yards a carry. On defense, they allowed 414 yards to the Flames, 191 rushing for 4.2 yards per rush. Jake Garcia completed 20 of 36 passes for 204 yards and a pick. East Carolina has struggled with their ground attack this season. UTSA has gotten accuracy at the quarterback position and on defense, stopping the run. ECU has a home loss by 2 to a down App State team. Play UTSA +4. North Carolina and Duke college football pick Saturday. North Carolina fell to 3-1 after a 70-50 home defeat to James Madison. The Tar Heels put up 616 yards, 141 rushing for 4.5 yards a carry. On defense, they allowed 611 yards to the Dukes with 388 passing yards on 34 attempts. Jacoby Criswell, 28 of 48 passing for 475 yards, 3 touchdowns, 2 picks. Duke now 4-0, a 45-17 road win at Middle Tennessee State. Blue Devils put up 340 yards, 124 rushing for 3.5 yards a carry. On defense, they held the Blue Raiders to 295 yards, 168 rushing for 4.2 yards a carry. Malik Murphy, 14 of 21 passing for 216 yards with 3 touchdowns and a pick. Duke has defended well by holding teams to 3.4 yards per rush, 4.2 yards per pass attempt. They have been efficient through the air, 64% completions, 7.1 yards per pass attempt. Their biggest challenge came in an overtime win at Northwestern. North Carolina has not covered a spread in 4 games this year. The pass defense has been poor for the Tar Heels as they're just giving up 8.8 yards per pass attempt. And they face a Duke team that's strong in the passing game. Play Duke here, -3. Mississippi State and Texas college football pick Saturday's game. Mississippi State fell to 1-3 after their 45-28 home defeat to Florida. The Bulldogs gained 480 yards, 240 rushing for 4.3 yards a carry. On defense, the Bulldogs allowed 503 yards to the Gators, 226 rushing for 6.3 yards a carry. Blake Shapen, 13-21 passing for 140 yards and a touchdown. Michael Van Buren is expected to start and hit 7 of 13 passes for 100 yards. Texas sits at 4-0. a 51-3 home win to UL Monroe. The Longhorns put up 497 yards, 239 rushing for 4.6 yards a carry. Defensively, they held the Warhawks to 111 yards, 54 passing on 25 attempts. Arch Manning, 15-29 passing for 258 yards and 2 touchdowns and 2 picks in there. Quinn Ewers is questionable at quarterback. Mississippi State has a passing game that completes 65% of their passes, 8.7 yards per pass attempt. They have struggled defensively by allowing over 5 yards a carry, 71% completions allowed. Texas is getting great offensive production, nearly 5 yards a carry on the ground, 68% completions, 10 yards per pass attempt. They defend the run and pass well. The Bulldogs gave up 45 at home to Florida last week and 41 to Toledo 2 weeks ago, playing Mississippi State and Texas over 62.5. Old Dominion and Bowling Green college football pick Saturday. Old Dominion fell to 0-3, a 37-13 home defeat to Virginia Tech. The Monarchs gained 293 yards, 243 rushing for 6.2 yards a carry. Defensively, they allowed 465 yards to the Hokies, 289 rushing for 5.7 yards per carry. Grant Wilson missed the game due to the injury and is questionable here. Quint Hankel, 5-12 passing for 38 yards and a pick. Bowling Green now 1-2, a 26-20 road defeat at Texas A&M. Falcons put up in the game 339 yards, 89 rushing for 3.9 yards a carry. Defensively, they allowed 408 yards to the Aggies, 235 rushing, 5.5 yards a carry. Connor Bazelak, 28-36 passing for 250 yards with a touchdown and pick. Now, ODU is defended, holding teams to 4.1 yards per carry, 57% completion rate, only 6.6 yards per pass attempt. The Falcons' defense giving up 5.3 yards a carry on the ground, 8.3 yards per pass attempt. Old Dominion was competitive in a 23-19 road loss at South Carolina. Play here will be Old Dominion here at plus 9.5. Louisiana Tech and FIU college football pick Saturday. Louisiana Tech drops to 1-2, a 23-20 home overtime defeat to Tulsa. The Bulldogs put up 285 yards, 87 rushing for just over 2 yards a carry. On defense, they allowed 333 yards to the Golden Hurricane with 228 passing on 36 attempts. Jack Turner goes 7-14 passing for 41 yards. Evan Bullock, relieved, went 4 of 6 for 49 yards and a touchdown. FIU fell to 1-3, a 45-42 home defeat to FCS Monmouth. 2 weeks ago, it was a 38-20 road loss at FAU. The Golden Panthers posted 368 yards, 87 rushing for 3.5 yards a carry. On defense, they allowed 420 yards to the Owls, 259 rushing for 5 yards a carry. Keon Jenkins, 21-35 passing for 281 yards with 3 touchdowns and 3 picks. Louisiana Tech running for only 2.4 yards a carry. They are getting inaccurate quarterback play with 53% completion rate. FIU passing game is generating 65% completions, 7.9 yards per pass attempt. They hold opponents at 6.1 yards per pass attempt. Louisiana Tech 4-10 to the spread on the road. Play here will be on FIU here plus 3. Stanford and Clemson college football pick for Saturday. Stanford 2-1 after their 26-25 road win at Syracuse. The Cardinals gained 351 yards, 173 rushing for 5.4 yards a carry. On defense, they allowed 365 yards to the Orange, 26 rushing on 17 carries. Ashton Daniels 23-38 passing for 178 yards with a touchdown and 2 picks. Clemson 2-1 with their 59-35 home win to NC State. The Tigers posted 523 yards, 269 rushing for 8.2 yards a carry. On defense, they allowed 436 yards to the Wolfpack, 257 passing on 31 attempts. Case Klubnik 16-24 passing for 209 yards with 3 touchdowns. Tough scheduling spot for Stanford, playing back-to-back road games at Syracuse, now here at Clemson. The Cardinal run pass defense struggles, giving up 67% completions, 8 yards per pass attempt. Clemson offense rolling right now, 6.3 yards a carry, nearly 70% completion rate, 8.5 yards per pass attempt. Stanford 0-4 the spread in consecutive road games. They're also 1-5 the spread on the road against good passing teams that average 8 yards per pass attempt or greater. Play Clemson minus 21.5. Iowa State and Houston college football pick Saturday. Iowa State improved to 3-0 after a 52-7 home win to Arkansas State. The Cyclones gained 490 yards, 237 rushing for 4.9 yards a carry. On defense, they held the Red Wolves to 182 yards, 64 rushing for under 2 yards a carry. Rocco Beck, 11 of 18 passing for 204 yards, 2 touchdowns, and a pick. Houston fell to 1-3, a 34-zip road defeat in Cincinnati. The Cougars posted only 233 yards, 141 rushing for 4.3 yards a carry. On defense, they allowed 362 yards and with 213 passing and 18 attempts on 18 attempts. Donovan Smith, 11 of 16 passing, 73 yards and a pick. Cyclones on the ground running for 4.2 yards a carry. They beat Iowa on the road by 1 and faced 2 weak opponents. The Cougars defensively holding teams to 3.6 yards a carry, only 6.3 yards per pass. And remember, they were tough on the road against Oklahoma. The 4-point road loss. Play here will be on Houston at plus the 14.5. If you're looking for my best bets, my premium plays, click the link in the description. You'll get to my sales page over at Tony'sPicks.com for more free pick videos. Be sure to subscribe to our channel. And if you appreciate our work, like this video, give us that thumbs up. We greatly appreciate it. I'm Tony T. We'll talk to you later.